Hey everybody. I thought I would cover a topic that I've been noticing has been most talked about lately on Twitter, and it has a lot to do with, I guess, age discrimination and such. And a lot of people over 30 and such feel like they are being basically, bashed on for their age by younger people within the furry fandom. And, it it's always something, honestly. There's just, it seems like in my eyes, there's always problem after problem throughout this world. And the way I see it is that people just cannot seem to really, you know, why is it so difficult to love one another? Why does everybody have to hate and such? And you know, I just don't know why people just can't accept people for who they are. And so when it comes to basically age, yeah, everyone ages. We can't control that. We're gonna start slowing down in life. We're gonna start changing physically, and you know that's just life. I mean, I'm kind of sort of battling it too. Like, yeah, I look young to a lot of people. I feel like I never really like changed physically, but it just happens to all of us. I mean, I'm 31, and that's still young. But life goes by pretty fast. So everybody's got to make the best of their life while they're still alive. But yeah, so back to the thing that no matter a person's age, you know, anybody can be a part of anything. This, whether you're in the furry fandom or not, there should be no limit to you know anybody just because of someone's age. And you know what? Look, I get it that they're, to some younger people, like, you know they have that mentality to where they feel like that they're like invulnerable, they're invincible. They feel like they can conquer a lot and feel young all the time and such. And it's good to have that mindset, but it's like it's one of those things that you can't escape. You can't escape aging. And you know there's, I guess, there's ways to maybe slower the aging process, and I can give some tips. Like, you know if you want to live young and healthy for a very long life, well, you might have to make some changes to yourself. I mean, one of the biggest things is that it is hard for everybody to do is not stress and not feel depressed and all those things, because those things in particular can really decrease a person's life span and make them feel worse, and in fact it kills. Stress and depression is far worse than just smoking or drinking and such alone. Though, even though drinking and smoking is not a healthy choice at all, and it's very addictive, but those things that I mentioned can really decrease a person's life. I, for one, don't do any of that stuff, like, as far as the drinking and smoking goes. Now, depression and stress, I do get a lot of stress from things that go on in my life, like my job and such, and sometimes the depression I get is from certain things in my life, like and it's a number of things, like that. I'm been long trying to make changes in my life by getting into another career field, and um, trying to maybe think about moving and relocating to somewhere else and have a change in environment, and wanting to hang out with more friends and meet more people and go to social gatherings and such. But there's just been a lot of things that have been kind of preventing me from going to that because I have very little time on my hands. So that's kind of the things that I face stress and depression with, and I work under a lot of pressure too. It's hard, and but the fact of the matter is that I get it that people don't want to look old. It's I get that it's not really that great of a thing to kind of like look at, or be that when you would look at yourself in the mirror, you'd be like, oh my god, I'm falling apart. But what matters is it's not so much what's on the outside. It's basically from what's within. If you want to feel young, you just got to feel young at heart and throughout your soul. So that's the truth. But getting back to the thing about this whole age discrimination really needs to stop. Everybody is welcome in this fandom. And people will say like, well, not how do I say this? There's different, like, I guess, things for a person's age. Like, obviously, okay, like if minors come into the fandom, and I know a lot of people don't want to associate with minors, mostly because there's a lot of adult content in this fandom, for one. And I'm talking about stuff that are like 21 plus. And there's a lot of people I know on social media, like Twitter and other, platforms, that restrict their profiles to say no person's under, 18. It's really, 18, I should say. Sorry, not 21. Like 21 is more for like if you're going to like places that involve alcohol. But really, the most majority of things is that anyone under 18, obviously, yeah, you gotta be careful with that, because we do have minors in this fandom, and if someone over 18 is sharing adult content with somebody that's under 18, that can lead to a lot of serious problems and consequences. So there's that thing. There is I guess categories or places for all age groups. Now, I'd say if it was like on a safe for work level, where it's of all ages and family oriented, friendly, and that sort of thing, and not any adult content involved, then yeah, the fandom is really open to all that. Now, and if people want to do the like things that are on the adults side, like not safe for work, then there is that separate from it. So there are places for everyone in the fandom, that depending on what your age is, but really all ages are welcome. Nobody should be excluded or casted out, or whatever the saying is. They could be welcomed in the fandom. There's a lot of furries out there that love to interact with kids, and like something like you would see at Disneyland. Like a lot of kids, when they see somebody in full grown adult in a fursuit, it's a magical thing. It brings a smile on a kid's face. So there's that thing. But basically what I'm saying is, you know, nobody should be left out of this fandom because of their age. And, it hurts to hear that, and see that. Because, I mean, you know, I'm a long way from being, up to where other people are, like, in their 40s and 50s and even older. And, like, and, but I know that it will come soon because time does go by fast. I mean, um, I'm not too far away from being 32 very soon. So, you know, and, but I'm just trying to make the best of my life. So, um, I, I just, I just wish everybody could just love each other for who they are. Like, and it shouldn't matter about the number of a person, you know. It's about, you know, it's really about personality, you know, and everybody has different personalities. Like, you know, I know that, like, if someone has a different personality than mine, and doesn't have anything in common, then yeah, there's that thing. Because, I'm a selectively social person, you know. I know I'm not going to be friends with everybody, but I'm not going to hate that other person just because they're different and or they're older than me or whatnot. I'm not gonna be like that. Um, I know, like, who I want to hang around with, and knowing who is good for me and whatnot. Now, the question is, like, okay, who would I want to hang out with, like, maybe as age wise? Well, you know, to be honest with you, I I kind of prefer to hang around people around my age or maybe a little older than me, because I've always been that way ever since I was growing up. Like, I never, bothered really hanging out with anybody younger than me. And I'm talking, like, like, probably people in their early 20s and such, just because, I feel like it's kind of hard to say. I feel like I'm the older guy that's, you know, kind of around kids. And I'm not saying kids in a bad way or anything like that. It's just, I just personally just don't feel comfortable hanging out with younger people. Really, I never did. I prefer just being around people my age and older. It's just, I like that. But I'm not gonna, dislike those other people being younger than me. I'll still, like, talk to them maybe, and just say, like, hey, how's it going, or kind of just sort of maybe be an acquaintance. I don't know, but that's just my preference, and people should respect that. Just like people have preferences, I will respect them, their, you know choices and whatnot. So, because I know, like, not everybody is going to match with me. Not everybody's going to be like my friend and such. And, I'd rather have more acquaintances than having a lot of friends. I keep my friends, like my close friends, very small. And, I don't need a lot of friends to be satisfied and happy. So, yeah, but anyway, guys, that's really all I should say, is just, like, like, don't bash on people for how old they are. You know, in a way, like, it's good to have this balance, you know? Like, it would honestly feel really, you know, off or kind of weird, and, like, if I lived in a world where it was just mostly younger people, I wouldn't probably not like that, just to be honest with you, because there's no balance between younger and middle-aged older people, you know. And that's what I'm kind of been seeing in the world lately is we got a lot of this younger generation coming around, like, I mean, the generation after mine, that, you know, the younger people, most of them want to be very dominant. Like, they want to kind of change this world and sort of just be like, you know, like they can't be, you know, touched. They can kind of do, like, a lot of them can do like whatever they want, and, you know, and sort of be free or rebel and all that. And I'm not going to say all of them are like that, but there are, because, you know, I feel like what a lot of them get influenced by what they, you know, come across on social media, or what they, you know, learn, and, you know, or even could be, you know, people who they hang out with, you know. I hate to say it, but a lot of these younger people these days that I see, like, that are just coming out of high school, or, you know, I feel like they have a lot of them have a different mindset, where they still have a lot to, like, learn in life, and, you know, they've been educated in a different way than I have been educated. You know, there's a reason why there are older people around, because, you know, they are the ones that can help guide these younger people into the right direction of things in life. And some people can argue, like, well, what's right? What is right or wrong? What do we need to do? It's like, it's not really a matter of what's right or wrong. It's just recognizing that, you know, there's just certain things you cannot do in life. I mean, obviously, you know, don't you know don't go picking fights. Have manners. Be polite. Be considerate. Don't go stealing. Don't go vandalizing and destroying someone's property. Or don't go, you know, being racial towards other people, and don't go, you know, just stuff like that. You know, something that is, like, we're talking about things that are really wrong, that can get you into a lot of trouble, like, that could possibly put you in jail, or, you know, I mean, that it's just like things like that has been taught over, you know, years. I mean, it's just being proper, I guess, you know, and just, you know, there's really no fun in just being, you know, completely ugly to somebody else, you know. I mean, yeah, it's the easiest thing to grasp onto, is being hateful, and being rude, and angry and bitter, and, you know, just being toxic to people. It's easy to do that, but it's hard to be good. I get it. You know, sometimes, like, I have moments where, you know, I don't want to forgive a certain somebody, or, you know, really don't want to talk to somebody and such, but, you know, and I have that sort of, like, build up in me, like, at times, and it kind of just really, like, makes me uncomfortable, but I'm trying hard to kind of sort of make peace within myself, and knowing, like, you know, hey, I shouldn't be holding on to this kind of stuff towards that person. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, things didn't work out, you know, things got off to a, you know, a bad start, or maybe a bad end, and I realized, you know, like, shit was not right. But, you know, at least I can come forth and say, like, you know, hey, I'm sorry about that this happened, and, you know, and maybe explain, like, you know, it was misunderstanding, and blah blah, and but I'm not gonna hold a grudge towards somebody. I'm not gonna, you know, be hateful, because all that hate that you hold inside yourself can really destroy you. I mean, anger and hatred and all those things just really go a long way. And, you know, and that's why a lot of the problems that we see in the world, all the crimes, all the murder, all the fights, all this and that, all in those categories, it just keeps happening because, there's just people that are very, sensitive on things. I'm a sensitive person, I can't tell you how many times I've reacted to a lot of things and got so upset, and then, sometimes I still do, but I've learned to, I guess it's not worth it. I don't want to fight. I don't want to get physical with anybody. I don't want to do that. I've just learned to walk away from certain things. It's just not worth being, getting revenge on somebody. I mean, then the hardest thing to answer would be if someone, killed somebody I really loved, I don't know how I would react to that. I mean, I would, honestly, if that did happen, I'd probably, would wish, maybe bad things that happened to the other person that killed, my loved ones, whether it be a friend or my parents or family members or anybody, I would be so, angry about that, but I wouldn't dare try to, hurt them. Now, I would, hope that they, serve their sentences and probably be in jail or in prison for the rest of their life. And, I mean, it would take a long while for me to probably forgive them, but I just would hope that they would never see the, day of light again, and really learn their lesson, for what they did. Because I don't think some of these people realize when they take another person's life away, it cannot be undone. It's permanent. Death is permanent. And, so, wow, I really led off into a different direction. Here I'm talking about, age discrimination in the fandom and such, and, just life in general, but yeah, I've really gone too far in this video, but I just basically wanted to say, guys, that, that everybody is welcome here, and no matter how old you are, and this fandom, I've been in it for a little over a decade now, and I'm just, I'm tired of seeing all the drama and all this, toxicity towards each other. It's when will it end? I don't know, but I really want to see people just get along with each other. Just be kind and show compassion and understanding. It's again, like I said, you all don't have to be friends with each other. Just stop hating. And it's okay to not like things. Don't be a jerk about it. It's not that hard. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.